This is the continuation of part 1 of the chapter The Thief Story. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. Now, when Hari Singh went to Anil, what he observed that he was a man of 25 years old age, and he was a tall man. He was lean fellow. Lean means he was very thin, and he looked easygoing. Easygoing means he was not in tension or he was not in trouble. He was enjoying his life, kind and simple enough for my purpose. He was a very kind man. He was a simple man. I was searching such a man only who was kind and simple, who was not so intelligent, who was not so tricky. So I found Anil that he was a kind man. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. Now, with planning, Hari Singh had come to Anil because he wanted to become the friend of Anil. So Hari Singh thought that I would able to gain the confidence of this young man whose name is Anil, and slowly and gradually Anil will accept me as his friend. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So what he told that Hari Singh asked Anil that I think you are a wrestler. Okay, you do the fighting. Looking to your body appearance, I think you are a wrestler. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. So Anil told that yes, I am a wrestler, and Anil asked the same question to Hari Singh that I think you are also a wrestler. But listening to this question, Hari Singh became quite nervous because he was a thin boy. He was not so strong, not so robust like Anil. He was just a thin boy. So he was scared to listen to this question. So what he told? Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. Yes, but only sometimes I do the wrestling. What is your name? Hari Singh, I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. Means, what he says that when I was asked a question that what is my name, so Hari Singh told that Hari Singh's name is Hari Singh, and he himself accepts that since he was a thief and he has robbed many people till now, he was an experienced robber. So he himself accepts that every month I change my name, because if I will steal or rob the people with the same name, then I will be caught by the police and I will be put in the jail. So whenever I meet new people with the planning of robbery, I always change my name. So this time my name is Hari Singh. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting and throwing each other about. When Anil and Hari Singh, both of them introduced themselves, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers. Since he was a wrestler, so he knew many wrestlers. So he started about the people who were doing wrestling. I did not have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Now Anil was a wrestler, but I was not a wrestler. I was a thief. So I did not know anything about wrestling. So when he was talking about wrestling, or when he was talking about the wrestlers, I did not say anything. I did not reply anything. I just kept mum because I did not know anything about it. So after speaking, Anil went away and I also followed Anil. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you, I said. I started walking behind Anil and I told Anil that I also want to work for you. Means I want to live with you. I want to stay with you. Can you give me some job? But I can't pay you. Anil told that if I'll give you a job, I have to give you payment also. Without payment, who will work for me? But I can't give you payment because I am not so rich. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? Now Hari Singh realized that whatever he has judged about Anil, that was all wrong, because he has thought that Anil is a rich man, but now he realized that Anil is not a rich man. So I asked, can you feed me? Means, can you give me food to eat? Hari Singh asked Anil that, can you give me food to eat? So Anil asked, can you cook? Hari Singh told, yes, I can cook. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. So Anil told that if you know the cooking, you cook for me and then I'll give you food. He took me to his room over the Juma sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. He took me to his room. His room was where? Above the Juma sweet shop. And there he took me and told me that I could sleep on the balcony. Anil was sleeping in the room and Hari Singh can sleep in the balcony. So you can imagine how small the house of Anil was. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. Now, one day, Hari Singh is narrating his story that one day I cooked the food for Anil, but that food was so bad because actually I was not a cook, I was a thief. So I did not know how to do the cooking. But I told him lie that yes, I know how to do the cooking. So when Hari Singh cooked the food, Anil did not like that food and he gave the food to the dogs. But I just hung around smiling in my most appealing way and he couldn't help laughing. But in return, Anil did not tell anything to Hari Singh that how bad food you have prepared and how dare to prepare such a food. Means he was not at all angry at Hari Singh and he was just a normal man. He was so kind that he did not react anything at it and Anil smiled at Hari Singh and they again became friends. Means they started laughing. Later he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. Now you can see the kindness, the gentleness of Anil, that in spite of making such a bad or tasteless food by Hari Singh, Anil did not get angry and in return he said that don't worry Hari Singh, I'll teach you how to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. Not only cooking, Anil also taught Hari Singh how to write his name, how to write sentences, how to add numbers, how to subtract numbers, how to pronounce the words also. I was grateful. I was thankful. Why? Because Anil was teaching me. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. Hari Singh knew very well what is the value of education. Hari Singh knew that if he would be educated enough, then there was no need to do the robbery of stealing the things. He could do a much better job like an educated person. So he was very happy that Anil was educating him. It was quite pleasant working for Anil and I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about ₹1 a day. Now it was my daily routine that every morning I used to prepare tea for Anil because I was working in his house. So I used to prepare tea for Anil. Then I went out in the market to buy the daily routine things. Anil gave me money also to purchase the things. And whatever money was given by Anil, from that money, every day I used to save ₹1 and I used to put that ₹1 in my pocket. So I was getting money from Anil also, indirect way. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. And Anil knew very well that how much amount I have given to Hari Singh for purchasing the things and what was the cost of all those things and how much money is left from whatever Anil has given. And he also knew that ₹1 always daily Hari Singh is saving from the amount given to him and he is putting that ₹1 in his pocket. But still Anil did not say anything to Hari Singh that why are you saving the money from whatever money I have given, from that why are you saving and why are you putting that saved money in your pocket. He did not say anything to Hari Singh. So this shows that he was a very kind, very gentle and a very good person. Anil made money by fits and starts. Means he was not having a regular income. Whatever he was earning in parts. He would borrow one week, lend the next. Sometimes he used to borrow money from people, and sometimes he used to lend the money to the people. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. Means whatever money came to Anil, he never used to save that money. He always used to spend that money on celebrations or on purchasing things. Means he was not a miser. Miser means conjuse. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. He was an educated person, so he was you can see he was a writer. He was writing magazines also, and in this way he was earning his living. He was earning money. One evening he came home with a small bundle of notes saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. Now one evening when he came home, I observed that he has brought a lot of money at home. Who observed this? Hari Singh observed this. And Anil told that how this money has come to me. This money came by selling a book to a publisher. Means I have written a book and I have sold that book to a publisher, and the publisher has given me so much of money. At night I saw him tuck the money under the mattress, and when Anil was going to sleep, he put that bundle of notes or bundle of money under his pillow and he went to sleep. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. Basically, I was a thief, and every day I was, you can say, robbing one rupee from the money given by Anil to him for doing the shopping. Other than this saving 1 rupee every day, I have not done anything bad to Anil. Though I was a thief, I was robber by nature. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. I got every opportunity. Anil was the owner of the house, but Anil has given me the keys of the house. And he has given me freedom that whenever he want to go from the house, he can go. Whenever he want to come into the house, he can enter with that key. Because every time Anil was not at home. But still, in spite of this freedom, Hari Singh says that I have not done anything wrong with Anil. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. Why? What was the reason for this? Because Anil trusted Hari Singh very much. Though Hari Singh was a thief, and Anil was not knowing that he was a thief. So he trusted him very much as a friend, and Hari Singh did not want to break the trust of Anil. And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It is easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed, but it is difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he is being robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. So Hari Singh says that being a thief, I am very much interested in robbing the rich people, because if we rob rich people, the rich people can again earn money. There is no problem for them to earn the money. But if we rob a careless man, a man who is careless, does not know where he has kept his money, how much money he has saved, how much money is being robbed. So if we rob a careless man, then there is no happiness in that, because again a careless man or a middle class man cannot earn that money which he is being robbed. So first reason was that Anil trusted Hari Singh too much. Because of that trust, Hari Singh was not able to rob Anil. And secondly, he was a careless man. He was very kind, he was very gentle. He was not taking care that how much money he has kept in home, and what was the balance which he had earlier. So if I robbed Anil, Anil will not be able to even come to know that he is being robbed. So that's why I have not robbed him. Well, it is time I did some real work, I told myself. I am out of practice. So now Hari Singh was able to realize that being a robber, I have not done anything wrong. So I am losing my practice of robbing. And if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he does not even pay me. But Hari Singh also thought that if I will not take the money from Anil, then Anil will waste that money, because he has the habit of spending money. He was not a miser man. So he thought that if I will not rob him, if I will not take the money from him, then he will waste it, and that money will be of no use neither to Hari Singh nor to Anil. And second thing, Anil was not also given any salary to Hari Singh for doing his household work. So Hari Singh thought that I should take some money from Anil, maybe in the form of robbing only, and I will think that I am taking this money as a salary, because till now he was not giving any salary to Hari Singh. Now second part we will do in the next video. Thank you.